All right, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's going on, man?
Everything going well?
Yes, Tito. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I had a missed week, and now this week is kind of we had another member that's not going to be able to be here, Paolo.
Yeah.
But that's kind of one of the benefits of having three, right? Just in case I am not able to attend, we still have the show, content that we're going to be creating, right? So, yeah, and I listened to the podcast. It was fun. I know you haven't launched it yet, but
it's gonna drop soon. Hopefully by the time this drops, it drops. So
yeah.
It's good. So hopefully people will have heard it.
It was cool.
It was weird. I have to say it was weird not having you because it's normally it's the FM Soccer Talk, so you're the M of the F, right?
Yeah.
So it was definitely strange, but we had my brother here, so it would just be turned into a conversation more than like a typical.
It seemed one that I was listening. I was like, oh my god, I want to talk about so much, and I've written down all this kind of stuff, and we'll share that on like when we got at TNF one night. But it was cool. It was cool to see just overall you guys really seem to have enjoyed it.
Yeah. So speaking of TNF was pretty good. Last night you were on the winning team again, although there was an asterisk. But there was an asterisk, dude.
You always want to have one when I'm playing.
No, that's not true.
I started going you had this other keeper there. Like, Alan had an off night.
I'm just stating obviouses. That's all, dude.
Okay.
I just think no, it was a good night. I thought there was a lot of really good soccer players there last night. It was one of the more packed rosters that we've had in a while. I think it would have been nicer to have two equal goalies, but they were okay.
The guy held his own. He did fine.
He did and he didn't. Let's be honest.
He left a couple of Alan when Alan had that hat trick on my team.
Yeah.
They were all kind of like, oh man. I mean, one of them was a blast where he hit it like from the half field and it went like upper angle.
Beyond.
Yeah.
What a rip. I actually like this other one from the right side where he just kind of bent it around the near post.
Oh, near post. I was gonna say I think that was that same game.
Yeah.
So but I think he did all right. David Till was killing. He was killing.
He's really good, man. He's a very, very good goalie, and he made some stellar saves. I was thinking about goalies the other day, and I was like, how do you classify? We were talking to the Dan Vasquez, the goalie coach, right? Yeah. So we had a conversation with him online about the different goalies, and this is off topic, so just forgive us, right? So. And he thinks that Buffon is the best goalie of all time. So he has other goalies that were there as well. So Iker Casillas is on there. He actually had George Fields on that list. He had a couple notable goalies, and they were all justifiably one of the best goalies at some point or in the time. You know? And it's David is a good shot blocker, man. He doesn't have good feet. He doesn't seem to have like the quickest reactions. Yeah. But he can stop a shot, man. He does really well. So just going back to something. So the conversation I was having with Dan is that like there are different types of goalies. There are shot blockers. There are reaction. There are reaction goalies, and then there's some that are just kind of like really fast, fast off the line or good in the air, and then you have goalies that are all of them, So I like, people think that Manuel Neuer is fantastic. I just think he's a really good shot blocker for me.
He's got good feet.
Yeah,
he kind of helped create that whole position.
No, I created sweeper keeper.
I think we always played it, but it was never taken up to the big league.
Yeah, no, I mean I used to dribble out, take shots. One time I've scored from goalies. So I mean I'm gonna just go on record and say I invented sweeper keeper.
Beautiful.
But Buffon is the type of guy where like his position is the best. That's what to me most people don't see. But his angles, he shuts down a forward or an attacker or whoever, and he shuts on the angle, making it almost impossible for that person to score. And like that's the hardest thing about being a goalie is your positioning, and his is fantastic. Plus he has a reaction, not anymore. I mean, dude is in his 40s, and he's the best shot blocker around. So, to me, Buffon takes the cake as the best.
He's also a big leader on the team. So the presence of the dude is just—he's been around the game for a long time, and he knows what he's doing. So, I think Buffon, I wouldn't be able to debate against that. I mean, I know some keepers, right? But
De Gea. De Gea. He's a great reaction save.
Sometimes. Well, if they give him too much time, the thing goes between his hands. I don't know.
Yeah,
You
no,
can't see the ball. He has so many
he,
issues.
he has to make saves on like reaction, like impulse. You know what I mean? Like hand goes out or a foot goes out. You know what I mean? That like close range kind of saves.
Yeah.
Or like last second, split second saves. But in turn, if you give him time to like come catch a ball with space, it's gonna go through his hands.
I remember seeing. I played against a keeper that was in the MLS, and I'm people that played in the Mexican League too. And this keeper that I played with in the Patriots, man, that guy was good. Like that guy was a top keeper I've ever. I mean, you could shoot from distance, you could come in close. He was on point. So whenever you go up against a keeper that knows how to do all those kinds of things, you can see the talent.
Yeah. So Tuesday night would have been a much better night if we had equal goalies. Really, I mean, Alan took the night off. Dan was tired. Enzo always has something to do. I went through a list. I asked 2 UB goalies, the starting goalie and the kid Marcus. They couldn't make it. They had training at 7. I even put a post up on Facebook just calling out all goalies. Every goalie I knew to just come down if I needed a goalie. Rouse almost brought a goalie, but he had a game in Norwalk at 9:15. So it was going to be me. I was going to be in goal, and then I saw Brian, and I asked Brian to play, and he played. So sometimes maybe it would have been better if I played.
But it was a good night, and you know what? Our run was it with Dave? Because Red took the night. I mean, I don't know if we had already said that, but Red took the night.
Actually, no. Your name was on the right, so that means you did the run against.
I'm pretty sure he was our keeper. So you might say unequal keepers. He had the one with the longest streak.
This is where I'm concerned about that, because I don't remember anybody having a streak on Brian's side. I think what happened is there was another game in between somewhere else where the next game got moved and they didn't put you on that side. I think there was another game missing.
I remember going pretty long.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying.
So now you're gonna give Mike also that stats suck.
No. Stats are important, but I'll tell you when stats suck. When they're not kept properly. So when
yeah, I know, garbage in, garbage out. That's a data thing. If you don't have good data coming in, you're not going to be able to have really good outputs. But either way,
who's the best player? Because I know who my best player was.
I think we both know who the best player than that was.
Rich Pate?
Oh yeah, of course.
Thanks, man, Rich. He was on Black. Yeah. And he had but he played well all night despite the fact that Black only had 8 points. Yeah. Apparently. Yeah. Again, that seems strange. But even people on Black.
I don't know. You saw DJ losing his stuff against Rich.
So Black scored 9 goals in 2 games, which could be a record. Here's another stat for you. But 9 goals in 2 games, I think they blew their load. Yeah. They had 2 games and that was it, and they lived their whole night on just those 2 games.
And you know that it was just moments after DJ had he got upset. DJ got upset, said get me off, and he subbed himself out. And next thing you know, they end up barely beating us. And I think they won the next game, and he got on and he started scoring more goals. And then from there, you didn't see him afterwards. I think it was like a 10-minute like jolt of let's go, all right, and then it was just like
But Rich was good.
Man. That tiki-taka goal.
That was the goal of the night, man, because he saw DJ got the ball out wide on the left wing. Rich made a run up past half, received it, played a 1-2 to Bruno. Bruno played a perfect, the run that Bruno made to the corner was great. He opened up space.
It was good.
Gave it back for one-time finish.
Left-footed one-time finish, I think. Confident left foot.
3 goals in 2 games, and then he had a couple assists. The chip to Chigo, the header. He was on fire, dude. So, Rich, kudos to you, man.
Yeah, it was the whole thing where he's inviting Taco Pina. I think that's motivated.
Oh, yeah, he's all excited about Taco Pina.
Yeah, he's going to be doing that thing at Sacred Heart University where the Taco Pina is doing a presentation there. Rich was a part of that because he had him in his class last semester, which was neat. So that's going to be a really cool shout out. So Rich, good stuff.
Yeah.
But
I want to know how you feel about it. How do you feel about calls? Because you obviously get fouled. Yeah. You don't call it.
Yeah.
Rarely. Right. Yeah. And then let's just say the play continues, you get through the foul, but then you lose it, or you just end up losing it, and you don't call the foul. Some people stop thinking that you are going to call the foul.
Yeah.
Some people don't.
Me?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, players in general will stop thinking assuming that everybody is going to call. So what's the right thing to do? Call the foul or play through? Should everyone assume that you're not going to call a foul? And I'm not just saying you in particular. But in general, on a Tuesday night, right? I get fouled because the rule is the player who gets fouled has to say foul.
Yeah.
which puts a lot of pressure on that person to either be like, I'm a pussy, or I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm either gonna just yes, I got fouled, but I can play through. I'm not dead. I'm not hurt. I can keep going. You know what I mean? There's no reason why I need to stop. So.
I mean, you also see
it happens.
It happens. It depends on the player. Like I got Kevin's frustration. I mean, he's in the back. He had him dribbled. He got his hips pulled, and then that counted on that went on a one-on-one breakaway, 2v1 breakaway.
Okay.
She was kind of like, come on, like. So I got that. Now, I think there's always that thought where you call a foul, you're a wuss.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I just don't call anything because I know that I dish out quite a bit. So if I call anything, I feel it's a counter my style of soccer because I'm pretty physical. So it came to a point where like AJ came in pretty hard. I passed it to Jeff. I think we scored, and everyone was kind of like, "Are you gonna call a foul?" And I was like, "I didn't say anything." And AJ was the one that had stopped, and he goes, "No, he didn't say anything. All that happened was a goal." And I was like, "Yeah." I mean, I also had it where they hit me, and I don't call anything, and it ends up in a goal against us. Bruno came in aggressive on one. I'm not one to call, but for somebody to call it. Yeah, it depends on my mood. Sometimes I'll lose my mind.
It is annoying when people call soft fouls, though.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
100%.
It's like, because then both teams get upset. You know what I mean? Like, you get upset. The game kind of stops for no reason. You know, my problem is the stopping of the game. There's nothing worse than, like, oh my God, we had a few breakout sessions last night, but it was like, who yelled Borges? It was like, come on, guys! Let's all be friends! Cut it out, everybody! I can't handle this stress. But he calmed everyone down. Apparently, we were really concerned about him. So no, we got to play it. But that's what Tuesday night's for. I'm not saying people should come and let out their aggression on the other people, but they should let out their aggression because that's what Tuesday night's for. Come, be competitive, and then just get it off your chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Don't come to me. I'm no one's father. So if someone gets mad, you get mad at somebody else, you have every right to get into that person's face. You don't need to come tell me to tell him to calm down. You know what I mean? No, you tell him to calm down. That's where I'm at. I'm just like, hey, listen, I don't start with anybody. If I foul somebody, I will probably do it on purpose. Yeah. Right? Oh, most of my fouls.
Every time you foul me, we just laugh about it because it's kind of like.
Well, fouls. I think a foul is intentional, dude. It's like, I mean, every time.
But then like last week, Paolo stepped on somebody's foot. Mark got pissed. Was like, I was like, that was a foul.
Yeah, but those are accidents. You know what I mean? It's a foul, yes, but like my fouls, when I foul somebody, it's intentional. Like I'm grabbing a shirt, I'm pulling back the shoulder, I'll never do like the clip from behind. I'll never, like, if someone's by me, I'm not gonna Valverde them. I'm not gonna take them. I just won't. I mean, unless it's absolutely like if the game is important, but never on Tuesday. I would never do something like that. It's outrageous. So
I agree.
So that was it. But all in all, it was a good night. I thought it was highly competitive and good to be back to 3 teams, which was nice.
Yeah. Yeah, Paulo he wasn't there last night, and he kept sending messages, and I was like, dude, just look at their Insta stories. Just look at the Insta stories.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun, the Insta stories. It was something we've never really done. I mean, we've done it, but I've never actually gone live on the Instagram Live and done that. So that was fun. So we'll probably, if we could, I'd like to do more of that, obviously. It's hard.
Like I said, that was one of my goals for the 2020 year coming up, was getting a bit better. And I think we're growing. I mean, we're almost to the point of the same followers we had on Instagram from before. So it's cool.
Yeah,
done with it.
That's good. Man.
Keep up for those stories.
So there's some big news. Where are you going? Where were you going?
I was gonna go with big news.
The big news, right? We know what the big news is, everybody, right? Chicharito is at the
Chicharito.
LA.
Yes.
Chicha.
You could call him Chicha. Chicharito, Javier. I saw an interview. He could anything. He's got like 15 names.
He's got a lot of names. A lot of aliases.
You get like me.
Tito.
I
Yeah, it must be at least South America.
At least.
Right?
Yeah. Mexico's North America.
So I am excited because Chicharito, regardless of the replacement of Zlatan or any of that nonsense that people want to talk about, I think from a pure footballing standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, from everything about this purchase, this sale, this acquisition, spot on. LA Galaxy couldn't have picked a better person to come in, score the goals that they need, sell the jerseys that they want, and fill the stadium like they need to.
Yeah.
And he's one of the best. He may not be the biggest worldwide star, but for LA, and MLS and the demographics that come with him, gold mine.
You were mentioning it last week. You said last week how you felt that the MLS did a very good job of bringing him in and getting him to the LA Galaxy for these reasons, and because it was in the talks at that point. And I agree. I mean, he brings in. Claudia and I were talking about teams, and she goes, "I guess I'm gonna have to go to like LA Galaxy."
Yeah, she has no choice. So
yeah, and it's just because of how it came about. I mean, if you think about it, any Chivas fan, you were mentioning how Liga MX has been one of the most watched leagues here in the States, and it's true, right? So Claudia, being with a Chivas fan all her life, and all Chivas fans are watching Chicharito come out and sub on, right, as a young kid from Amargao, which is like a Chivas legend. And they're seeing potential, and he's doing well, and he's fighting hard. He's there for a good amount of years, and he's showing a lot of promise. And he goes to Manchester United, which at that time was with Ferguson.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody, this guy lived the gold dream. Like, he was from Guadalajara, grew up in Chile. Yeah, like that guy, Santi Munoz, that guy, or Muñiz. I forgot what it was. Munez.
It's the worst soccer player I've ever seen.
But you know what? You love the movie.
I love the movie. Goal 2 is even better. I love how the whole movie is about him, and then in the end it's Beckham. Beckham scores a free kick. It's like, hey, Beckham is the hero of this movie. They couldn't even let him win it, you know?
Of course not. You pay for the big ones. You pay for Beckham. Are you kidding me?
That was how do you make those movies? Because they was Zidane, Guti, they were so
Nick Cannon? Yeah, he was on what? I swear to God, he scored a goal from half field or something. Maybe it was goal 3.
There was a goal 3 I missed.
Fell off the plot, yeah.
It's going to turn into like Sharknado, dude. Sharknado 8, oh hell no.
The Shaolin Soccer or something.
Oh man, so Chicharito, I think he was the super sub, man. Oh, so you brought up a point. So I didn't know him before Manchester United.
Yeah.
Right? I knew that he was a Mexican footballer. He was really good for the Mexican national team.
Yeah.
He was a finisher, and you can see through his quality at Manchester United that his work ethic was incredible. I mean, this dude must come to practice every day. You never really hear about injuries too much with him either, so he could score with his head. Dude, the ball would go bounce off his knee. I don't think he had the finesse that most people, would say have, like, a touch. He lacked that a little bit, a lot. Yeah. So, but
okay, now you're gonna say Lukaku.
But inside the 6, dude, that dude can score. Inside the 6, it didn't matter where it hit him. Hip, knee, head, shoulder.
Some people have that gift. Like, it hits them in the shin and it pops right over the keeper. Or like you shoot it and it hits him in the thigh and it goes. Okay. Yeah, he has that gift where he's just at that right spot, right? And he scores a lot of goals, and he's going to be great for the MLS, the type of player that he is. I know that people keep comparing, they got to fill the Zlatan void, and did he do it? And I mean, I see it as he's going to be working harder. Zlatan was an amazing player. And don't get me wrong, the way he carries himself, you see him lifting up AC Milan right now.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That personality that came in was just like, man, look, make us legit. Yeah. So he doesn't have to run as hard. Chicharito is quite the opposite. He's a hard worker. He's like
he's gonna work
head of the ground, kind of just, and that's why people like him.
See, I think when people say, when there was that whole nonsense about it being like a retirement league, even he said it. Yeah. Even he said it. I mean, but he didn't say it was a retirement league. He said that like this is just the start of his retirement. Now, for of someone who's from South America, especially like Mexico, to make it in Europe, to play from Real Madrid. He's from North America, Central America, wherever. North America.
Mexico is North America.
I'm an asshole, but I'm sorry. My geography is terrible. You understand what I'm saying? No, I was just speaking in general. Anyone who makes it from Europe, and I think that's what he was trying to get at, is like his European dream is over.
Yeah.
His to come all the way to play in Europe is to play with the elite soccer players, and he did that, and that dream is now over. He's retiring. Like that dream is a retirement. So. I kind of agree with what he said. Now, there could be some loss in translation, whatever you want to call it. But he's going to have to work harder now that he's in the MLS. He can't retire in the MLS because his team sucks. So in order for him to do anything good, he's going to have to perform better than he's performed in the last couple of years.
But, okay, another thing about the retirement issue that I get upset about is he's going to perform, but he sees it like a bell curve, like anybody does. He has a moment where he's going to go high, and then he's got a plateau, and he was at, Real Madrid. That was probably like, the peak of times. Yeah. And the next team after that wasn't as such a category, but he was still playing and getting minutes. And I think it was like West Ham was in there, and Sevilla was in there. And then now MLS is one of those where your European dream is done, and that's just the beginning of a retirement phase. Yeah. That doesn't mean that you're not going to try harder. That doesn't mean that you don't believe in yourself. But him getting called up by like an Italian team may not happen.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
But if it would have been
Yeah.
and a team in Mexico, he probably would have said the same thing.
That'd
Like,
be
hey,
awesome.
look, I'm to the point where I'm not going to get a $45, $110 million deal.
Imagine if he's 40 and he's at like locomotives.
Yeah, and great.
Locomotives.
No, that'd be incredible.
That'd be awesome, dude. But I love how he said, I could be in my 40s and in Australia.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, how bad is the Australian league?
Did he just slightly jab Australia?
Like, you know who played in Australia? The great Del Piero, so it can't be that.
Oh,
So, but I just saying, he's like, I could be 40 and playing in the so it was just kind of funny. But I think what I'm gonna hate is this animosity, this feud that they're going to create between him and Vela. This competition between who is the better Mexican, who is the better forward, who's gonna score more goals. You know, it doesn't matter if Chicharito doesn't challenge for the golden boot or whatever you want to call it. You know.
yeah.
I don't think that it matters. First of all, Vela has a better team around him, 100%. And then two, I mean, he understands. He's already accustomed to the system, the traveling and everything like that, the different services, you know, the schedule, whatever. So
Yeah.
I just think that if we don't give Chicharito any time to adjust, it's gonna be a disaster project for him, and I don't like that because Chicharito is too good of a player to be given any sort of bad press.
The kind of player that his profile, the LA Galaxy is going to come and say, this is our 5-year plan, this is what we see for you. And of course, he's not going to come here not thinking that the team's going to be built around him and he's going to get success on the field. So I think that he made the right move. You bring up the rivalry with Alex Vela. It's funny because as this, you know, I've been getting into MLS more in the past few years, and I tried really going behind NYCFC because of that relationship with Manchester City, and you know, I enjoyed them and I followed them and I kept an eye on them, but I think I identified more with LAFC. It was a matter of seeing how the you know, I was born from there. I was born there. They have a link with me going to college out of Cal State, LA. And it was just a matter of, I identified myself more. So I had made a conscious decision that I think I'm going to make the switch. I know that people will say, like, oh, you pick a team and you stick with them. But I just identified myself more with LAFC. They're big with the Hispanic community, and I love that.
All right, I actually respect that more than you just saying I'm an NYCFC fan for proximity or because of the affiliation with City. You know, if you like a team based off of what they represent, then that to me is a good pick. If they're LA, they're LA. Who cares if you can't go see them? There's a chance you could. I mean, you said you've got family out there, so there's no chance. But I mean, they're on TV. The best part about the MLS is the CSPN. Plus, you can watch a game no matter where they are. The only problem is that the games are like 10:30. They are later, which sometimes is like my peak time. I'm awake. There's no one to bother me at that time. It's fantastic at that time.
You go downstairs, you leave the dark. It's perfect.
So you mentioned.
This rivalry that they're going to pit between these two friends. You know what? It's a spectacle. I think both those two players are smart enough to know that this is what they're going to try to do, and that's why they're bringing him in as like a villain, right? I mean, you see Alexi Lalas talking about how, oh, this guy is he feels offended, and to be honest, no. I think that they're trying to put him in a certain kind of light, and I think they're good enough friends. They're smart enough people to be like. Let them. Like, all right, cool. That's you guys doing it. They've been around this kind of press all their lives. I mean, they've been in Spain, which has the media in Spain is insane.
Do you think that there's a chance that Vela could crumble? Imagine Chicharito comes in and it's like lights it up.
No, I think Bradley's too good of a coach to let that happen.
And you don't think Bella's like kind of like, oh no, I'm in his shadow again. I'm in his shadow again. Oh no, I can't.
Nah, I think he's gonna go and look. I was the MLS's best player.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show him that this is my territory.
He was a Fiat.
Of course he was. He was a Fiat. Get the fuck out of here. I don't cuss much, but get the fuck out of here.
Do you think that all Chivas fans will now become LA Galaxy fans?
That's a big conversation. Like I said, Claudio was like, I guess I'm gonna be an LA
Galaxy fan. Are people in Chivas gonna buy LA Galaxy jerseys with Chicharito's name on it?
Probably.
100%.
Oh, 100%. Actually, I was growing up in El Paso, and I played with this team in Canotillo, that was just like a neighboring city, and we were the LA Galaxy because they liked that team, and it was like the Hispanic affiliated team, and Beckham had just gotten there, so we would wear these LA Galaxy jerseys. So I'm 100% positive that Chivas fans are gonna wear LA Galaxy jerseys with Chicharito's name.
I would.
100%.
I would, and not only because I like jerseys. And I think I respect Chicharito, and it's a nice jersey.
So
nice. I want all the jerseys, by the way. I mean, I want a Seattle, I want a LA. The LAFC jersey is dope. I love that thing.
I identify with that jersey style.
I'm kind of pissed that the Galaxy are not playing the Red Bull because that would have been fun. So I would have liked to have gone to that game in New York.
We have that one coming up this upcoming season. Where is this?
The NYCFC?
NYCFC versus New York Red Bull, May 31st.
Mm-hmm.
Which is...
That's in New York, right?
That's one that we were talking about going, right? Because when we're looking for a team for Paolo, I think that having that experience is a big thing. And I did that New York Red Bull when that was incredible. Fun. So I think that taking them to something like that, where it's intense rivalry, going to both of these, what do they call it, the Hudson River...
The Hudson River Derby?
Yeah.
It's a good... I like that name, Hudson River Derby. It's actually not so bad. So if Vela is the Messi, would Chicharito be like the Ronaldo? How does that work, dude? Are they now the Messi and Ronaldo of the MLS, these two?
As you know, the Mexican fans view the Mexican players, or the Hispanic fans view the La Liga players at that level. Like, it's like, oh, did you see this guy do this and do that? I could totally see that being viewed as we've got two incredible players.
Yeah, don't go watch the Spanish League or the
Italian. Don't worry about it.
Forget the UEFA Champions League. Just forget about Europe. Just watch the MLS. We got our own. That's what they're going to try to do. But that's what I love. I love and hate that about the media. I love it and hate it because they're trying to build the story, but it doesn't have to be negative, right? It's just two great soccer players here. Yeah, like why create a competition that hasn't even started yet? They're talking about changing the venue of the game and putting it in the Rose Bowl because they don't think that the two stadiums are big enough to... No. Isn't that wrong?
That is, man. No, that's wrong.
Or that's an exploitation of a good, right? And so this is...
If that's a real conversation, that's ridiculous because that's just a complete marketing move and it's not a benefit to the home team player. Because the home team has the benefit of a home team because they know their stadium, they got their crowd, they know everything about their stadium. And if they're going to go to a neutral site, yeah, you're going to fit more people, you're going to get more jersey sales, and the Rose Bowl is impressive. I've been to a USC-UCLA football game there. It's an impressive stadium.
Okay.
But...
Here. All right, keep going.
But I think that you'd lose the energy and the vibe of the stadiums. When I was at Cal State LA, I remember seeing the Home Depot Center, and where the LA Galaxy played, and it was impressive. We played Dominguez Hills there, which was another very good school out in the area. And I haven't gone out to see the LAFC stadium, but I hear it's one of the nicest.
So LAFC Stadium holds 22,000, which is a nice, tight. You feel like you're on top of the field. That's a great stadium.
Yeah.
LA Galaxy Stadium, 27,000. Combined, that's all 49,000.
Yeah.
Rose Bowl, 90,888. So if they could fill that, that's double. It's double what the combined stadiums make.
And they'll fill it.
So if they play each other twice, is it better to make... They're going to double their money. They're going to double their money if they play both games, home and away, and a neutral site, and make...
No, okay, so this is an expression in Spanish.
It's quadruple the money. It's quadruple the money.
40 and 90? No.
Well, because if they play one game
at
home...
It was 27, it was 27 and 25, and 22, that's 45. So then from there, 45.
Yeah. 50. So if they play both games...
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. You're multiplying it by 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, look, I think that there's a Spanish expression called "están enseñando el colmillo." Like they're showing you their their kind of their edginess, their side that perhaps isn't so nice.
Who's
MLS is going to show that they're business driven, that they don't really care about. I mean, you don't see Boca River being played. You see it being played on a neutral site because of the fact that there was a fight in Libertadores. Like they couldn't do it because of constraints.
I think
but they tried it 3 times.
I think you need your home fans there.
You need
that atmosphere.
Yeah,
you need to be close. So I think it's messed up.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's messed up because at some point now you get an extra 90,000 people to a game, and they get to experience it. So now you're just opening up your doors to more people. You're spreading the joy of soccer.
You got your rose-colored glasses on, don't you? Okay.
Well, I mean, I look at it. It's kind of like why doesn't if they could, it's kind of like if you could fill up, if you could take NYCFC, right, and New York Red Bull. Both stadiums probably hold, approximately. I mean, the baseball stadium holds more, but I just think that if you can play that game, if it had such a draw where it would sell out, right? You put them at MetLife Stadium and go do 90,000. Why wouldn't you do it?
Because of the home crowd feel, the culture you're trying to establish.
But is it so? If it's close enough, shouldn't they both be there? You got one behind one goal, one behind the other.
I can't believe you're saying this. To be honest, I'm actually pretty shocked.
I am. No, just.
I'm shocked. I mean, maybe you're getting the devil's advocate, but I'm
MLS
impressed.
Is rubbing off on me,
I'm impressed that you're so pro this.
It's the American way. No, I am against it, dude. I am all for home field advantage.
So then, why are you trying to justify by saying?
I'm just from a marketing standpoint. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a good idea to quadruple your money?
Duh.
Think about how many more jerseys they're gonna sell.
Why would everything? If you do something of that scale, of course people are gonna go. It's just
they would come up with some name. They would come up with some gimmick.
They already have it. El Tráfico.
Oh yeah, the El Tráfico, the LA Derby, the LA Derby.
I like the LA Derby.
Yeah, but it's so generic. It's so
the Tráfico's cool because that would be like your in parentheses kind of name. Like that's the.
I think El Tráfico is stupid and good at the same. It's very
MLS.
It's very MLS-y.
It's one of the things that we were having a chat on. It's our club, it's our country, right? In terms of the MLS soccer, and we should you gotta embrace it. You gotta embrace MLS because even though it's the ugly baby that we all complain about, but at least it's something that we're complaining about that we have. So it's fun. I enjoy the MLS.
I think it's the ugly duckling.
After I accepted that, you know what? Everywhere in the world, everyone's complaining about their league. Yeah. I was thinking in Italy, I'm sure people are talking about how the league is run and it's this and that and it's done for the benefits of others. In England, everybody's complaining about their league with over soccer saturation. So here in the States, our complaint is MLS is just not that amazing. But we love what it is.
I think the complaint here should be that there's not enough soccer. There's not enough soccer saturation in this country. It comes in spurts almost.
It needs to be done with like the USL teams. And it's crazy because you have these two competing models, like USL and MLS. They're not affiliated. They're on their own.
Oh, they're USL's trying. They are now affiliated, kind of. There is an affiliation between USL and MLS. There is an affiliation.
There is now.
Yeah.
I thought they were completely on their own, and that USL's even looking to do a structured relegation promotion. That's one of their appeals.
I'll do more research on that. Yeah. I thought that because that was where the whole when the league that the Cosmos were in, the NASL, they didn't get that. They weren't affiliated, so they didn't get any of the money, and I
think that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah. So we can actually.
But either way,
Rocco Panisos, the owner of the owner of Fiorentina, the owner. The name that the stadium where Colombia plays in, the Rocco Panisos Stadium. Yeah. He's from Brooklyn. He's a lawyer. I mean, Tommy knows him. We could probably get him on the show, which would be awesome, dude. Honestly,
shout out. Yeah. But either way, what I'm getting at is it's own up to it. It's fun. It's unexpected. You could have a 3-1 game, 10 minutes left, and 5-6.
So, yeah, it is. It's true. It's good.
So I enjoy the thrill.
Let's talk about Messi and Ronaldo retiring. So we're talking about retirement leagues.
we had brought up in between you, me, and Paulo how we feel that Cristiano would be coming to the MLS. No doubt. Especially after his acting career, I'm learning how to act. He wants to be like the Arnold Schwarzenegger and The Rock of soccer.
That dude could do whatever he wants. If he doesn't become,
all power to it.
If he doesn't become the president of FIFA, I always felt like Beckham would be a perfect person to work in FIFA. Very wholesome, humble, works hard, smart, knows everybody, ambassador to the game, would spread the love.
I think that's a good
Great shout for someone like that. But I mean, he went the other way because maybe he saw the writing on the wall of FIFA. Who knows? But like someone like Cristiano, who is so well known, so popular. Think about what he could do for the game if he had like an appointment, like an official position inside of football. I think he would do great. So, but you're right. He's gonna come over here. He's gonna do movies. He's gonna love it. Who knows? He'll probably do every sort of movie.
Yeah.
You know, he'll probably do like the Expendables 8. You know
the action movies with Sylvester Stallone. Oh, that'd be incredible.
He would be good. And he would do a celebration whenever he feel like when he beat up Donnie Yen, he would do like this celebration.
He would do comedies with Kevin Hart.
He's gonna be in like Ip Man 12.
That guy's hilarious. Yeah. He's gonna come to MLS. I think that he will come before Messi.
Do you think Messi will come at all? I can't figure.
He's gonna go back to Argentina, man. That's the kind of his personality. He's gonna be like, hey, I'm done here.
See you later.
I'm going back to Argentina. He's always said he wants to go and play back there.
Is that where Tevez is? Is Tevez back in Argentina?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a nice move. Argentina's nice, man.
Yeah,
it's like one of the most beautiful countries.
He's always said he's Argentinian first.
Yeah.
He's always said that. So I mean, it's going back home.
But he's gonna have kids. You know, his kids are gonna grow up in Spain. I mean, in Barcelona. They're gonna grow up, in school.
Yeah. But they live a very different life.
His retirement is closer than we think, and we got to prepare ourselves. When him and Ronaldo retire, so people are gonna you're gonna have to cry a little bit, only because the level of soccer is gonna drop. We're never gonna see a player like Messi and Ronaldo dominate soccer.
I'm not gonna say never, but I hope to have a lot of soccer ahead of me.
Okay.
But in the near future, I don't see anybody coming in.
Let's just realistically, let's talk about, we got Messi and Ronaldo at, let's just say, 100%. The third next best player is probably, I hate to say it, Neymar. Yeah. I hate to say it, but he is really, really talented. There's other players like
Mbappe
is fantastic. I mean, Griezmann is really good.
We're missing a ton of great players.
The defender, the Van Dijk, there's so many of them, So, but those guys are at 70, 80% of how good they are. If you compared them to the level of playing ability, that's I
love how much you're moving your hands.
No one can see me. Well, they can see if you watch the video. I'm doing up and down. I'm doing the scale. Yeah. But think about it. All right, so it's kind of like a curve. So you teach a class. Yeah. You have 2 kids in your class that get hundreds on everything. They got brown stuff all over their nose. They love your class. And then you got the riffraffs, and you got guys that are getting F's and D's or whatever. And so those guys keep your average up. So you want them to stay in your class. But when they move on, your average drops dramatically. And that's what's going to happen to soccer, dude. The level of soccer, the stat, we got to prepare ourselves for a less, not as many goals. Or not as
spectacular goals.
Yeah, spectacular soccer. Soccer is gonna be boring, I think.
Did you hear that they have between them, Messi and Ronaldo scored 433 goals so far in their career?
Combined or
no,
each? Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous.
Holy Jesus! I mean, they've been dominating the last 11 Ballon d'Ors or 12 Ballon d'Ors has been about them. Yeah. With the exception of Modric's this past year, or a year ago.
But think about that. Think about the drop.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's going to go back to how it used to be, where players like Shevchenko got player, Griezmann's going to get player of the year. Mbappe's going to get player of the year, and then the next year somebody else is going to get, and then the next year it's going to be somebody else, because that's how it should be. I mean, but we need to go back. We need to try to remember what that was like. Soccer is just, we're going to be I guess this game is going to be a normal soccer game again. I just think it's going to drop drastically.
I think that kind of, we should go and appreciate this. And I mean, I know that we're coming on the 2-3 days from the incident that happened with Kobe, and it's kind of one of those appreciate them while they're here. And you see these two guys play, and I get so upset when people are saying oh, this guy's better and this guy's better. And they get upset and they have arguments, very intense arguments about how they hate the other. And it's just one of those you're living in a moment that you're so blessed to watch such good soccer.
Yeah, if you're a true soccer fan, you would like both of them.
Yeah, I love both of them.
You would literally be foolish, and if you were nah, I like one. How can you like one over the other? That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, maybe you have a preference of one over the other. You know what? I prefer Messi. I do. I think I like his soccer. I think he's a better player. But both of them are incredible. Ronaldo's dedication to the sport is just out of this world.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like both. I think that they should both be appreciated. And if anything that we've learned from the issue that happened with Kobe is do that between the two. Now, when Cristiano comes to the U.S.,
what team do you think he'll come to? Miami? No, he has to go to L.A. He's gonna go to LA Galaxy. It makes the perfect sense.
He'd be a Galactico.
He would have to. He would have to be a Galactico. It's right in LA, dude. It's Hollywood, man. He's got to. He has no choice. But
I can see that.
But the rest of soccer, so European soccer, going back to what will soccer be? There's get used to only 20 goals a season. 30 goals a season. You're gonna go back to normal numbers again. And people are gonna it's going to be like no one is ever going to be able to live up to that expectation again. And if everyone is held to that level, then we are going to be stuck in a level of like, hey, you got to do better. Hopefully, what happens is the price value goes down for these people. Hopefully, like a player like Pogba goes back to just being like $30 million. Because that's really what he's worth.
I'm against this because the clubs are making so much money.
But
so you gotta give the player its due. I mean,
but I think that's gonna drop too. Viewership's gonna drop because the level of soccer, no one's gonna. If people are going scoring 1 goal a game, Messi's not scoring 3 goals or scoring spectacular. No one's gonna tune in to watch.
There's enough talent. We're gonna go through a dip. And emotionally and psychologically, we're like, oh my god, like
soccer's gonna be in a state of depression, dude.
For maybe a couple of years, until we started kind of getting over that. I'm like, okay, they're not here. Let's come to realization.
It's going to be like the Great Depression, but soccer. That's exactly. Everyone's gonna crumble, dude. Sponsorships are just gonna be like. Adidas and Nike are gonna be like, man, dude, we're not making as much money anymore. We can't pay these dudes these contracts. We gotta pay them less, and then there's gonna be a revolt, like in the MLS. The players are gonna want more money.
I like how you've brought this along so
dude,
far.
It's a movie already. I almost want to call up Ronaldo and tell him about it because it's gonna be the Great Depression of soccer, dude. The Great Depression of soccer.
Oh man.
Think about it. Think about it. Think about it.
In terms of talent,
who are you gonna
they're both a unique breed, and the fact that they're at the same time is incredible.
And if you think about all the wonderkins that are supposed to be like growing up to be the next best player.
And I hope they do, and I hope they get there. But as of now, they got a lot to prove because Messi was debuting at 17. We've seen him for like 15 years.
It's been 20 years, yeah.
Yeah, 20 years. It's 2 decades. Cristiano's been 2 decades.
Yeah, they both signed at like in 2000. So
what I'm saying is, if they were already making their stamp that young of an age, we should already start seeing the level. And I mean, you see like the numbers of Mbappe, and you see other numbers, but
yeah, but like so like Salah, Mane, these guys are nowhere even technically close to either of those 2 players, man.
No.
But that's the point I'm trying to make.
They're still exciting.
It's that they're exciting in a non-exciting league. I can't watch the EPL anymore because it's gotten to that point where it's like here are Messi and Ronaldo playing a game by themselves, and then everyone else is just kind of playing in a pool on a field all alone somewhere else in a dark corner. Because it's like I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah. Teams
battling. It's like 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. I don't even know what's going on in that league anymore. It's like everyone beats everyone, which is exciting. It is exciting, but the level I'm not engaged in.
It's because it's been done so early, and now it's because of the fact that we know right now in the end of January, we knew probably like a month ago that Liverpool's going to take it. Now it's just a matter of how are they going to go, how far are they going to go.
Yeah. I thought that they were going to drop points the other day, and they didn't.
Against Wolves?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think everybody was a little bit hoping that they did, just to try to make it a little exciting. But I don't see anybody else coming close.
I think City is going to be the only team that dethrone, because just like it was 2 years ago, I think, when the City were going perfect, and then Liverpool smacked them like 4-1 or something like that.
Last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah, look how short our memory is, dude. It was last year where Man City, everybody was talking about how Pep just revolutionized soccer. Last year. Now that's how fast the story turns.
Yeah, I thought it was the year prior, because it was the year prior when they made 100 points or something like that.
Last year is when they made the broke records. And Liverpool got second place with like 96, 97 points or something crazy like that.
Yeah, like real close.
Which was the next highest, but other than that, nothing was comparing to. So, yeah, get used to it.
Get used to just bad soccer? Just a depression?
From now on, yeah. I mean, do you understand why the playoff system is kind of fun?
For what? MLS?
For MLS. For Mexican, like La Liguilla, it's fun.
It is fun.
Because right now, we'd all be sitting here just watching, like, when's Liverpool going to stumble? They're not going to stumble that many times. So now we have things like Champions League that we're going to be wanting to look forward to.
Yeah. Did Monterrey win the Champions League? I wanted to get to this because someone brought up a point that the CONCACAF Champions League is like pointless. That there's no money in it. If you win it, you get like $2 million, not even for the whole team, which is nothing. It's like it covers maybe your travel. You know what I mean? You're not even enough money to put money in these kids' pockets.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Well, I thought there should be more, but if Monterrey won the Champions League, the CONCACAF Champions League, and they got the opportunity to play against Liverpool, I think that they should put more emphasis on the CONCACAF Champions League. I think it would be good. I think not until an MLS team wins it, goes over to the FIFA World Cup and then wins that, nothing real serious is going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know.
It's just another tournament.
Dude, obviously, you said the CONCACAF champions. I said who was, I don't remember.
Exactly.
Obviously, it was Monterrey. But then after that, we have all those other tournaments that I don't know what feeds into which other tournament.
Yeah, no, they're all pointless.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, so, the last thing on our list is games that we want to attend, MLS games. There are some good ones. I mean, I just looked up the Red Bull schedule, and I know you looked up the New York, the NYCFC schedule. There's one, the Red Bull, the Hudson River Derby in Red Bull Arena is in August 23rd.
Yeah, the first game is in May 31st, and that's going to be at NYCFC.
All right, that'd be cool. So I've never done the train ride in, so I think that would be kind of a cool experience, kind of like, the boozing on the way on the train, talk about some stuff, tell some stories.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to be going.
Oh yeah, I'm going to have my Red Bull jersey on for sure.
And even then, I'll still wear my scarf. I know I played allegiance to LAFC.
You have to have an LAFC scarf.
I will. I'll get the jersey. I'm going to get a jersey.
You should, man. It's hot. So, yeah, you can still wear LAFC.
No, I'm just kidding.
What other games? I mean, Red Bull LAFC is going to be a great game. That's in. That doesn't seem right, that date, but it seems late.
No, it is.
Right.
It is.
That's November. That can't be November 19th. I gotta look that up because that doesn't seem right, dude.
Well, another that is going to be out there is the NYCFC LA Galaxy, August 30th, and then also the NYCFC Miami because. I do want to see it. I mean, Mikey Ambrose made his move to Miami.
Right. And he's going to play more regularly.
Probably, I'm assuming, yes. And I know that Miami's made some pretty good moves. They got a good coach. Yep. They've invested a good amount into the project.
They got a good goalie.
So I'm going to be in Miami in May, and I'm going to try to see if I can catch a game because that should be a lot of fun that weekend.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're playing there, but it's a matter of I want to see him. It's Beckham's project, man. He's been doing this since he came to the MLS. This is the package that they probably presented to him, which they probably presented to Chicharito. I mean, that's how much of an impact Chicharito's coming in and saying, look, this is our project, this is MLS's project, because the MLS is obviously overlooking the entire thing because they're the franchising company. So I'm sure that they were part of the Chicharito, this is what we're looking for you to do. I don't know, possibly to ownership or a link or something.
I mean, he's gonna. Do you think he can handle the pressure, the limelight of being like a league representative? He's never really been a league representative.
He's been representing the entire country, dude. He knows about it. I mean, he was at one point one of the very few Mexicans playing in Europe.
Yeah.
And at Manchester United, and getting limited time. So for him, understanding about what it means to represent people, he knows exactly.
There's other Mexicans on LA Galaxy. I haven't heard Jonathan
Dos Santos.
He
hasn't said anything yet. I know Giovanni's been trying to recruit him to America.
Bringing him back to his brother. Bringing his brother.
Giovanni Dos Santos is at America, and he's trying to bring Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan is good.
Yeah,
that must have been tough because they brought in Gio first.
Yeah,
and then they brought in Jonathan, and then
and
then they got rid of Gio. They're like, sorry, Gio.
And they also brought in Zlatan.
They brought in Zlatan, and they got Pavon too. So their front three is going to be all right.
Good, yeah.
Their defense is just garbage.
Yep.
So with that, the other things that we got coming back soon in like 2 weeks, we have the Champions League coming back. So look out for that. That's going to explode again. We're going to get to watch some more Champions League games. The predicted contest is going to come back.
I'm excited to talk about
we got Mohegan.
Holland.
We got Mohegan Sun coming back. Holland. So that's it, man.
I think that right now what we have on our plate is we're all excited about Mohegan Sun.
Mohegan Sun's gonna be good. So I had an idea about Mohegan Sun. So I found out that you can raise money by filling up a busload of people and bringing them to Mohegan Sun. So if you can pack a coach bus of people, which is only 40 people, get them to pay their ticket, which is like $50 a ticket, and what they get is they get like a food or a chip to play with, like a food voucher or something like that. And they go up, they take the bus ride. If you can fill up a bus, you get $1,000. So all you have to do is get 40 people to pay $50 to get on a bus. So I almost want to be on this bus while we're up there. Get everyone to go up there for like Thursday or Friday, take the bus up there, make $1,000. And then have our friends up there. While we were there, we'll get 40 of our friends to just get on the bus and come up to the Mohegan Sun for a couple hours.
It sounds pretty stressful to plan that and plan our booth.
I can do it. But I think just
that would be fun. That'd be
so if you want to come to Mohegan Sun, and
you want to ride
a bus, and you want to help out a good cause, look us up, man, because it's gonna be fun. But if you're gonna be at Mohegan Sun, check us out because we're gonna have a booth. We're gonna be live. We're gonna be doing interviews. We're gonna have some interactive stuff going on, some games planned, and
it's really gonna be a fun time.
We really hope to see you there. So
all right, then, man. As always,
that's the show.
Right. Always a pleasure.
Good stuff, man.